Hey artists, are you guys ready for Princess Peach, the hard version? Stay tuned for Mario coming up. So here we go. All right, so here are our materials. Remember, we have alcohol markers, we have color pencils, and we have this nice black ink pen that is better than a Sharpie because it doesn't bleed and mix with the alcohol markers. We also have this nice alcohol marker paper. So if you guys are interested, the links are down in the description. But you guys can use any materials that you have. So you don't need the fancy stuff, even though it's not that much. You can use pencil and any colors you guys have, even a marker. So what we're going to be doing is we just drew the hair. Now we're drawing the crown. So I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible by making some of the basic lines, the outlines first, then we'll go into the details. And then lastly, when we color it in, it's going to look amazing. So we just did the crown. Now we're going to be working on the hair. And a little bit into this video, I some parts, like see right there, my hand is kind of blocking. So I'll try next time not to let my hand block so you guys can see everything. It happens a few times, but for the most part, I think it's good to go. All right, so we just did the hair details. So it curves around and then it has like little ends to them. And it's not perfect. Mine doesn't look perfect. Yours is not going to look perfect. We're practicing. We're getting better. So don't stress yourself out. Have fun with it. You got to practice to get good at anything. You're going to start off not the best. Even when you start drawing, like for me right now, I just did another drawing before this, so my hand, I'm kind of warmed up. But if I just start drawing right away, I'm probably going to mess up some of my lines. So try to do some warm-up even. Just like when you go on the basketball court, you do some warm-up shots before you actually play the game. All right, so the head, notice how it's like 2 lines and then 2 more curved lines with a little point at the end. And I kind of messed up here, so what I'm doing is I'm making it a little thicker to make my line more smooth and consistent. All right. Now we're doing the eye. Kind of has one basic line shape and then a curve around it. Like this. So my last video was a full body of Princess Peach. Now we're just doing the head and the shoulders and a little bit of the hands. So when you kind of zoom in on it, on the character, you can get more detail. And notice how we're drawing pretty large on our paper. That's going to allow us to get more detail. So if you're drawing a little smaller than my size, I'm doing a normal piece of paper, but notice how big I'm drawing it. If you're drawing it smaller, it's going to be hard to get those details and it's probably going to mess up easier. All right, so we did 2 circles on the inside of the eye, pretty simple circles. Like that. All right, now the nose. Noses are really hard if you think about it too much. So look how simple I just made it. I made it an outside curve with an inward curve with another outside curve at the bottom of the nose. So it's just consisted of 2 or 3 changes of direction of curves. So I try to simplify the nose as much as I can. All right, now the lip, kind of similar to that. Changes directions like twice on the top part. And then the bottom lip is even more simple. If you guys watched the Super Mario movie, let me know in the comments down below and what character I should do next. I really like Bowser and Donkey Kong, and maybe even a go-kart from Mario Kart, and it's part of the movie. So comment down below if I should do one of the other characters in the movie. Alright, so now we're making some darker lines around the top part of the eye, so the top and then the far side. And now we're making some eyelashes. So it kind of looks like she's wearing makeup with that dark eyeliner. And then some eyelashes that are kind of like a triangle, but it kind of curves up and out. And they all go the same direction, starting off small and thin, and then getting thicker and longer in the middle, and then thinning out again on the other side. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side here. All together, guys, this drawing took me, I had to cut some stuff out of me trying to draw it. So it took me about I would say 30 minutes to draw the whole thing, and then around an hour to color it all in, because I was working on a lot of shading. So this video is only about 14 minutes. So you're definitely gonna need to pause it if you're following along. You could always make it more simple version of what I'm doing just for practice. All right, so we kind of mimic the same thing. It's not exact, but that's the point. It's supposed to be a little different on each side. All right, now we're gonna start to do the hair. Draw some of the hair blades. Okay, now right here, guys, I had to fast forward it so you guys see the hands. I was saying in the last video, hands are very hard to do because you have to think of it as the joints, how they move, and they're very easy to mess up. They take a lot of practice. So I was really focused here and my whole hand was blocking the camera. So this took me a few minutes and you can't see anything. So I had to fast forward there. So please pause it right here if you need to copy that. And then here again, I think I'm going to do a little fast forward where I'm blocking again. So I'm doing the hair, the earring. So there's a hand on top, there's a hand below, and then the hair that's coming down, okay? So I just fast forward that, so do it slow motion or pause it. All right, so right there in the middle of her hands is the little gem that she wears. And then we just did the shoulder, and now we're doing the other shoulder right now with some wrinkle. And then the earring. So we try to do this stuff in the front first. So the earring is behind her hair. So we'll do that. That's why we're doing it now. And then there's some hair that goes behind the earring. So we're doing that last. So we're almost finished, guys. Then we're gonna do the fast forward of the coloring process. So please pay attention if you are copying, and you can learn some techniques of the level of detail that I'm going to be using. So remember, we do the base layer and we're working with more colors here because it's more advanced than the last one. So we have different levels of gray for shadows. We have different levels of color pencils to add more texture to her hair. Okay, so now we're doing the crown. We did a mimic of the bottom part of the crown. Now we're doing the gem circle in the middle. And then we're gonna do some detail And the crown, just some random little designs that I kind of simplified. The real picture is way more detailed right here, so we're not going to go into that high level of detail. We're going to make it more simplified, easier for you guys. So we'll just pick out the basic shapes that we see and draw some curved lines, kind of like little flowers or petals. Yep, and then we will mimic the other side. So it takes a while for me to do the alcohol markers, but the longest part I think was the eyes. Took a long time when I colored in, and the color pencils. So that's where your work can really shine, when you add those highlights, those details. So I'll talk a little bit at the end of the video when we get to near the end of the coloring in process. And stay tuned, guys, for our next video. We're going to be doing Mario. We're going to do a simple version and an advanced form. So I'm excited for that. And lastly, we're going to do the eyebrows. We're going to do it really light because her eyebrows are light. All right, we're going to fast forward it. Here we go. Okay, so as we're finishing this up, let's talk about the last things that I thought were successful. The eyes look really realistic. We'll do a detailed video on how to draw eyes really good. And the level of detail I'm going to be doing in the hair is going to make it look a lot more realistic. And we can always push it farther. So when I'm done, I try to figure out what I could add differently. And I do feel like my shadows in the face and just all together, I could have made some darker shadows to make it more realistic. So always think about what you did successful and what you can improve on. That way you can encourage yourself, but also learn and get better the next time. So I'll see you guys in our next video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.